I found this really great lightsaber graphic online. Uh, Fear leads to anger, leads to hate, leads to the dark side. It's kind of cool. It's sort of a neat idea with just like a fuel gauge or some sort of a factory gauge. Your line just keeps going up. Your levels keep rising and rising and rising until you're screwed. Um, you've reached your potential of dark sideness after you've done all the things that you're not supposed to do. I thought that was kind of cool, and I wanted to expand on the idea. So, my idea was that rather than avoid these negatives, let's go ahead and look at some of the positives, and I came up with 6 based on actually some of the stuff that came to mind first, based on what I loved about the original movies, and especially from Yoda. So going on these 6 points, we are building up, not just telling people this is what you don't do. And this is really relevant to work atmosphere. This is really relevant to entrepreneur mindset in the workplace, in the professional atmosphere. How are you accessing the force? Rather than just to avoid, what are some of the values that you can build on? So let's see. The first, as we go along here, was of course a serious mind, developing a serious mind. That comes from Yoda too, as most of these will. Now, what we're looking at then is maturity development. Just having some maturity development. And this does not mean no sense of humor. This does not mean cracking a joke here and there to lighten the mood and liven things up. We all need that. And getting things out of your system helps you get back to the grindstone, but at the same time it creates a sense of camaraderie. So here, serious mind does not cancel out jokes or humor. It is about maturity development, and that will bring us into the reinforcing next point here, which is unlearning. And of course that is unlearning what you have learned. And by that, but we all know that that's probably the most famous one of all that we got from Yoda, just about tabula rasa. Tabula rasa is a Latin term for the blank canvas, the blank slate again. And that's what we mean here. It is almost, in a way, it is like a constant reset. It is a reverse engineering of what we accumulate. We accumulate throughout the day. So, in talking about at the very beginning of your day, you have already started to accumulate before you've even gotten out of your bed. You're accumulating. So at the very beginning of the day, very first thing, unlearning is a huge bullet point. And this, but by the way, that is not intended to cancel out staying in school. Don't quit school. Don't drop college, please. Teachers are heroes. Teachers, in a way, are the divine among us. So yeah, stay in school. That brings us to the next bullet point here, letting go. Letting go of what you fear to lose. You must train your mind to let go of all that you fear to lose. And that is another famous one, and we're talking about release. So that almost ties into the humor that helps us sort of shake things out of our system before we get back to the grindstone. So letting go, training ourselves to let go of what we fear to lose. That is a release. Release is the key word. Rattling it out, shaking it all off, so we can, now we're ready to redirect ourselves, sort of force direct ourselves to be home, to be present, which is the next bullet point, which is presence of where you are and what you're doing. That's another Empire Strikes Back point, actually, is never his mind on where he was and what he was doing, is what Yoda says. And that brings up presence, the importance of presence. So that is a huge key note right here in our 6, in the F plus, or FF plus Jedi Temple, if you will, methodology. And then we have, that brings us to the next one, which is feeling the flow. Feeling flow, which is the connection. And everything is affected by you. In a way, it is a sensitivity, but it's a very solid, stable sensitivity. it's a sensitivity that is ready to face things and willing to face things and able to take on and sacrifice for the team even, or just a greater cause. Like, look at, what's that movie? A famous favorite movie is actually The Great Gatsby, where Leonardo DiCaprio's character is being talked about as having a sort of sensitivity about him. And that sort of sensitivity is sort of what made The Great Gatsby the legend that he was. So that's what we're talking about here in terms of the connection and how we feel the flow. And it creates an equivalent exchange, in, out, up, down, omnidirectional. All is being affected by us. And we feel that. That is empathy right there. That will take us into the next point directly, which is relax. Focus. And this end really creates a loop back to the beginning of the hilt of our lightsaber. And that lightsaber is actually, that is the blue one, I believe, from episode 4, if I'm not mistaken, if I know anything about my lightsaber hilts. So that's the original A New Hope, where it actually wouldn't be green, and it actually wouldn't be like most of the other blue ones. It would be, it has a special crystal in it of a light blue, and that light blue, actually, I know this with all my Star Wars mythos knowledge. Well, what I do have is that crystal in the very, very light blue saber blade, that is a relaxation crystal, actually. Most don't know that. That is a relax crystal that helps the one who has that particular crystal in their lightsaber to always be calm. So this relaxed focus takes us back into the serious mind, or the maturity development here in our FF plus, I just made that up, Jedi Temple methodology of how we use the Force at work every day, and how our corporate place can even be like a bit like a Jedi Temple, maybe, I don't know. It's by these 6 points, all woven together beautifully in harmony and sync. And harmony and synchronicity, that harmony is actually, that is the green lightsaber crystal. That's what that implies. That's what that infers, actually. The green crystal is the balance. Those particular Jedi and their particular fighting style is actually in line with the more offense, defense flow. It's neither, while the blue is more defense, purely defense, and red is more pure straight up attack, straight up cutting, straight up like jagged serrated attack style offensive. Green is actually all about balance between the offensive and the defensive. So that's just some cool stuff that I can toss into all this mix to get you to sort of envision and get a sense of what's going on here with these 6 points. So I thought it was a cool way to graduate from and elaborate on and bring maximized value to this little, this cool little graphic of the dark side that actually, it's sort of, they mix up. They accidentally mixed around, and I thought it was funny, they mixed around hate and anger. So you end up hating people first, and then you're angry. So I thought that was sort of funny, because I just imagined all the haters out there. That's kind of what goes on in their mind. I just don't want to get angry while I'm hating on everybody. So there you go. See, we have a humorous moment between us right here. And yet we're not betraying the serious mind. So we get that out of our system before we are back on track to confronting the duality or the shadow in Destiny, and how we do confront that every single day in our workspace. I chose the color green for all of you guys just because, yeah, that color was actually for red and green just because of Christmas coming up and the holidays coming up too. So that was the original reason I did it. I'm not gonna front. I thought it was fun, and I thought some people might get it. So okay, that is it. Everybody take care. I hope this meant something to you, and let's do some more of these soon. All right, happy Thanksgiving. Bye.